Okay, we're back again with some more ChatGPT just to see what things it can do for us and how we can use it. So it gives us different options here: create an image, brainstorm, get advice, analyze data, summarize text, surprise me, code, help me write, analyze image, and make a plan. Okay, well, I think in the spirit of Men's Mental Health Month, let's go for get advice. Alright, so let's see what advice I can get as a black man living in the UK. So it gives us some examples here. Get advice on a difficult conversation, get advice on salary negotiation, get advice on moving to a new city, get advice on toddler behavior. Alright, so let's see what I can write. So I'll leave the prompt in there, get advice, as a black man on how to deal with micro aggressions. So, get advice as a black man on how to deal with microaggressions. So let's see if this brings up anything. Okay, so what does it come up with? Let's see if this is relevant or valid. Dealing with microaggressions, can I speak? Microaggressions as a black man can be emotionally draining. Is that patronizing coming from AI? I don't know. Frustrating and at times even disorienting. They're often subtle, sometimes even well-intentioned, but they still reinforce harmful stereotypes. Question your competence or identity and wear on your sense of self-worth. Here are some grounded, real advice that balances self-protection, dignity, and strategy. Okay, so it looks like it's given numbers. So let's see how many paragraphs it has in total. So 1, validate your experience. 2, choose your battles strategically. 3, know when silence is power. 4, build a circle that affirms you. 5, educate when you have the bandwidth. 6, use systems when you need to. 7, protect your mental health. 8, remember who you are. And that's it. Okay, so let's look at a couple of these to see if they're relevant. So I would say a place where you would get a lot of microaggressions could be at a workplace. That would be a most common place that maybe we can all relate to. Let's see. So validate your experience. Let's look at this one. You are not being too sensitive. Microaggressions are real. You're not imagining things when someone calls you articulate with surprise, clutches their purse tighter around you, or makes jokes about your hair or background. Naming what's happening is crucial first step. So tip, keep a mental or written log. This helps affirm patterns and can be useful if things escalate. Okay, so that's quite an interesting one. You're not being too sensitive. How do you know I'm not being too sensitive? I could be, real sensitive. Obviously I'm being extra here, but just to question this thing, you're not being too sensitive. Okay, let's see if I can actually ask a question with regards to that. Ask anything. Let's say, how will I know if I'm being too sensitive? Okay, let's try that. How will I know if I'm being too sensitive with regards to point 1. Let's see what happens if this actually answers the question. That's a really thoughtful and important question. The line between being too sensitive and rightly calling out a microaggression can feel blurry, especially when the world often gaslights black men into second guessing their own feelings. Here's how to better navigate that. Okay. Ask yourself what did it make you feel? Instead of immediately asking, was it offensive? Ask, how did that make you feel? Did it make you feel small, stereotyped, disrespected, or out of place? Did it subtly question your intelligence, appearance, authority, or identity? Did your body react? Tight chest, jaw clenched, sudden wave of emotion? Those gut reactions matter. They're emotional intelligence at work, not oversensitivity. Okay, so this is interesting. It's like I'm generally having a conversation with someone to get advice. This is good, I think, because I think it's giving good practical information and practical examples. Does this indirectly but encourage us not to speak to our friends and maybe just talk to ChatGPT instead? Consider intent versus input, because generally, like, you can ask your close circle of friends questions, but I doubt very much that they'll have so many options or ways to feedback. Maybe 2 or 3, but not many as many as that, and so detailed. So this could really help you deal with things that you're dealing with at work. If you have an example that you'd like me to try or go through, please do let me know and I can see if I can make it work. But let's look at the bottom line on this one. You're probably not being too sensitive. You're likely just noticing what others miss or choose to ignore. Trust your instincts, stay curious about your reactions, and don't let anyone diminish your lived experience. Would it help to go over a few real life scenarios together so you can practice gauging the difference? Wow. Wow. This is a real coach, isn't it? Let's see what happens if I say yes. Oh, I can type. Sorry, I'm typing funny. Wow. Great. Let's walk through a few real life microaggression scenarios. For each one, I'll describe the situation, how it might make you feel, and help you assess whether your reaction is reasonable or too sensitive. Scenario 1, the compliment. Situation at work. A colleague says, "Wow, you're so articulate," after presentation. Potential reaction. You feel uncomfortable, maybe even insulted. It feels like they don't expect intelligence or professionalism from you. Rude people out of order and rank. Reality check. This is a textbook microaggression. The underlying message is, you speak better than I thought somebody like you would. You're not being too sensitive. Trust that discomfort, it's legit. How to handle it, optional. Thanks. Just curious, what made you say that? So then that would, I guess, open up a conversation with that person as to figure out why they came to that conclusion or why they think you're articulate. Well, so scenario 2, scenario 3, scenario 4, scenario 5, okay. So 5 scenarios, and it says what you can take from this. You're not too sensitive for noticing patterns that others ignore. Sensitivity is not equal to weakness. It's emotional intelligence in action. Self-awareness is the key. Reflect, then choose how or whether to respond. This thing is very, very powerful. And it says, want to roleplay any of these situations or talk about something that happened to you personally? We can workshop responses together. Okay, let's say no thanks. However, I have heard that you don't really need to type the thanks because it's not a human being. So am I personifying an inanimate object? I have no idea. Wow. Okay. If you ever want to talk through if you ever want to talk through a specific situation in the future or just need to get something off your chest, I've got you. In the meantime, take care of your energy and move through the world knowing your presence, insight, and voice are valuable. Always. My G! Well, as you can see, this was a different part of ChatGPT to kind of explore. Quite amazing feedback really, and quite practical example that you can actually use in the workplace. Implications that it may then limit you wanting to kind of interact and engage with your fellow peers, could be there, but getting such a good examples of how to deal with the issue, and that is quite a good thing as well. So I don't know how to take it, but this is just us learning how to use this ChatGPT together. So if you do have any questions, if you do want me to check something for you, please do let me know and I'll try my best. Until next time, arrivederci.